We're alive, pal. Welcome to another exciting edition of the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast, Monday Night Mayhem. It is your boy, the franchise player, Double B Bad Blood, joined by the mixologist, professional wrestler, Mr. Chemical Julian, and FIFO Selects main man right here, Rob Wilkins. Rob, welcome to the party.
Thanks for having me, man.
Oh, man, it is a joy. It is a pleasure, my friend. What is going on, guys?
Oh, man, we just came fresh off of a very exclusive and entertaining and fun interview with the one and the only Mr. Sonny Ono.
No, you had so much fun, didn't you?
Soon.
You had so much fun, didn't you, Julian?
I did. I had a blast. That guy was highly entertaining. During the late 90s in WCW. His story is just great. The guy's got like great history. And like I said, he was doing MMA before it was MMA. He was just doing martial arts. He was doing movies. He was, just everything. Working for Prince.
I know, right? He was working for Prince, man, like crazy. Yeah.
That was crazy.
He always trying to throw us under the bus, though, all the time. Every time. Oh, man. That interview will be debuting on the ByTheSum.net YouTube channel later on tonight. As a matter of fact, that 1 hour is going to be set to premiere, so go watch that. But yeah, Monday Night Raw, man. Let's get into it, man. Like,
hey, so Raw kicks off with a steel cage match. It is Big E defending his WWE Championship against the one, the only Kevin Owens, and gotta say, it was a good cage match. As good as any cage match you're going to get. They really stuck to the rules this time. You can either go for the gate, try to climb over the top, or go for a pin in the middle of the ring. These guys, it was big sweaty men slapping meats. They're hitting each other nice and hard, definitely utilizing the side of the cage for offense. Big E was hitting his suplexes and using his forearms and just brawling it out. Kevin Owens doing the same thing, hitting his cannonballs and everything, and they go to escape through the side gate, and who comes back? The most annoying man on Monday Night Raw, Mr. Seth Rollins, and comes and kicks the gate shut on Big E's head. So he's there to insert himself and just be a pest. With regards to the upcoming Day 1 match, that's coming on January 1st. We get a pretty definitive win by Big E over Kevin Owens. He struggles. He makes it outside the ring. He, puts 2 feet on the ground. He wins the match. And, of course, Seth Rollins comes in and attacks. Once they lift the cage up. This was the big thing. So, after the match, they lift the cage up. So, some shenanigans about to happen. And so not only do we get Seth Rollins coming in for the attack, we also get the return, or I should say the insertion of one former WWE champion, Bobby Lashley.
Okay, stop right there.
Attacks everybody.
Stop right there. Was Dominic Mysterio involved?
Not this time.
Was Gage involved?
Hey, nobody got choked out, so there's no kids tonight.
So Bobby ain't beating nobody's kids tonight.
Bobby wasn't beating anybody's kids.
Okay.
Not on TV, anyways.
Not on TV.
We got a thing here, Rob. Bobby Lashley, for the last couple months, has been beating the dog piss out of everyone's kids.
Yeah.
So Bobby Lashley's daycare service is on point tonight.
So Bobby Lashley standing tall in the ring. He's demolished everybody. Later on in the night, we get an interview between the dude backstage and MVP and Bobby Lashley, and pretty much he's like, hey, I was disrespected. They're talking about championship matches and championship challenges, and I'm the former champion. No one's been talking about me, so he came in and dished a little payback. You can also catch that from WWE on Twitter. They posted the clip on there.
Well, you gotta think about it too. Let's be honest. He's not getting a shot at the championship, so he's going to insert himself at Day 1 probably.
Correct.
I'm glad that Big E finally got a definitive win as a champ.
Yes.
Because the last couple of weeks, I mean, after getting beat by after being beat by Roman, and then losing this match, and then losing that match, getting laid out by this guy, like
DQs and all that.
DQs, like they're just not giving him like a fair shake. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, I agree. That's one of the things about WWE booking that's frustrating is you see your strongest guys take bad losses. And tonight they made him look good. They let him hit the big ending on Kevin Owens from the top rope, which was good. That looked pretty good. So that's really all you can ask for is make your champion look good. If they're not a heel. Tonight, the way I hate to fast forward, but the way they ended Raw tonight is something I expect a heel champion to do. With the face champion, he should win when he's on TV. So I was all for it. I'm glad he got the victory. I knew with Seth Rollins getting involved that obviously shenanigans are going to happen. So I think they booked it perfectly for that match.
And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is really hard for us all to say here on this podcast because they never book shit good. Raw really sucks
compared to there's a lot of things.
But wait, then we have the next match.
Yeah. Yeah, and I say perfectly by WWE standards as of right now. I'm not saying. I mean, there's a lot of things they could have done wrong, but
correct.
I think this was the best way to go about it.
So, first match of the night, Big E wins, looks strong. You have interference, you have run-ins. I mean, it pushes the storyline forward. So, remember WWE in 50-50 booking? We got a good match. We got the story moving forward. We got the champ getting a solid win. Next match, Queen Zelena with Carmella, our women's tag team champions, versus Nikki ASH, almost a superhero, with Rhea Ripley. Not a very long match.
The fact that you took a deep breath before you said
that. We get some roll-ups, Zelena taunting Nikki. We get a slingshot, and then just out of the blue, Zelena she sidesteps a crossbody, hits a code red for the 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And here's the thing. Here's my biggest problem. Rhea Ripley, former women's champion, who at Mania, really, you don't get any bigger than getting your WrestleMania moment, getting put on the big stage. She's now just kind of sitting around, and literally backstage, she was sitting around. Because there's a backstage segment where some quote unquote fan comes up and goes, "Oh, hey, can I have your autograph?" And Nikki ASH is like, "Oh, sure." She's like, "Oh, not you. Him." And then you turn around, and because they're in Memphis, Jerry King Lawler.
Yep. Okay, I gotta say this. I was in Memphis, wrestled in Memphis a couple times. Someone told me, "Hey, man, go to Jerry Lawler's restaurant." So he has 2 restaurants in Memphis. One is on Beale Street, and one is way off in downtown somewhere. So I went to the one in downtown. Food was horrible. Went to the one on Beale Street. The food at Jerry Lawler's restaurant is so fucking nasty. I would honestly say, I don't know how you would get barbecue spare ribs, and they're gross. You can't mess up barbecue spare ribs.
Well, yeah, you can, but
yeah, well, I'm just saying that's my hot take. Jerry Lawler's food is horrible.
So even during that backstage segment, Rhea Ripley was just standing there.
Yeah.
And so during this tag match, Rhea Ripley was just kind of standing there, not doing a whole lot. And so, we haven't seen Rhea Ripley challenge big time Bex. We haven't seen her go after Charlotte. We haven't seen her go after Doudrop or, the champion match with Bianca Belair anytime recently. She's just kind of following around Nikki ASH, and that's it. So,
what do you think?
It was. I think they're starting either they're going to go with a heel turn for Nikki ASH or they're going to go with Rhea. I think they're going to go with Rhea. I think that's the way they need to go because the Nikki thing, it won't really last too long. They could go that route. I just think trying to go with Rhea as a heel would be better, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So do you think, in all honesty, someone will actually be able to take the Nikki, almost superhero Nikki ASH gimmick as like if she turned heel? Do you think people actually?
That's the thing. I think they would get rid of it already.
They should have got rid of it a long time ago.
Oh yeah,
man.
yeah.
That's just me.
You mean go back to her dressing like a what group was she with?
I mean, I don't even think she has to dress like she was with Sanity.
Sanity. Yeah.
I mean, she's married to Big Damo, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't have to like go back to like gimmick like that Sanity gimmick. I just truly think that maybe she should just lose her shit. You know what I mean? Like just lose your shit and just go crazy and just start smashing people left and right. Like okay, here's the thing. They made her out to be like this pushover, right? She's so nice, and they shamed her and they made her feel bad and they talked bad about her and all this other crap. They made her feel like dirt. They did all this crap to her to make her feel like crap, right? Okay, I get it. What they should do is push her, the whole be a star gimmick, push her to the point where she just loses her shit and she just goes ape shit crazy and starts beating the crap out of people. Like when she
they gave that gimmick to Damien Priest already.
Yeah. But let's call it what it is. This will be better. Almost like she's going back to that whole gimmick, but not going back to that gimmick. Like just have her just go crazy and just start beating people up. Even if she like beats up her partner, let her beat up Rhea Ripley.
And so somebody goes, "We thought you're a superhero." She said, "I said almost."
Yeah, she could be like, "I'm a villain." Like get it in. Give her something to work hard for. Give her something to like let her snap and let her just. I'm all about that life. I'm all about like making it work. You know what I mean? Like if you're a heel or a face and your gimmick is starting to slow down and you're starting to get like stale, you have to do something like totally out of the ordinary. And what I mean by totally out of the ordinary is like just flip your shit and just go crazy, because once you do that, fans are going to take notice. And then guess what? Once she does that and fans starts taking notice, then there you go. Now you've built another viable contender to the Raw Women's Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's part of the machine. So put her in line, and they'll develop that storyline hopefully, and then just put her next in line to feud with whoever's holding the title.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that it gets more exciting than that. Before we go to the next match, let's do this real quick. Let's take a quick commercial break. And ladies and gentlemen, we will be back with more of the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast after this.
Drive me insane! All these rules are lame, cause they're taking all the fun out! Drive me insane! All these rules are lame, cause they're taking all the fun out! Drive me insane! All these rules...
When you want to get your hair cut, you go get your hair cut right. You head down to Big D's Barbershop. Big D's Barbershop, Vancouver, Washington's best and brightest. 1019 Main Street, Vancouver, Washington, where you can go get your hair lined up, cuts, fades, shampoos, conditions, and all the great things that go with supporting a local barbershop in a local business area. You can also reach them online at www.bigdsbarbershop.com. Go get your hair cut right.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited, and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Back just like that, ladies and gentlemen. Back with more of this craziness of Monday Night Raw. So Rob, why don't you kick us off, man, with this next match? Let's talk about what you thought about it.
Well, right before that, they did a backstage segment with Liv, but it wasn't really anything special. But the match after that was right before it, so I apologize. It was Street Profits versus AJ and almost. I was actually thinking, I'm like, well, when they said this tournament was going to go, I'm like, okay, we're going to get AJ and almost again against RK Bro, and
not a tournament, it was an RK Bro.
Yeah, that's what it was. But I figured it was going to turn into that eventually, like they were going to get a title shot, but they didn't. They're starting to Street Profits get the win because almost got really pissed off about being attacked by Montez Ford that was on the out. No, it was Dawkins on the outside that was holding him back, and AJ was telling him he had to get back in the ring, otherwise they were going to lose, and they lost by count out, and it was basically almost not listening to AJ, and they lost because of it. So they're hinting based off like this week and then what happened last week, where almost just looked at AJ like he was a fool, and this week they made almost look like the fool, almost rather. But it was just really weird. So I don't know what way they're going. I really hope that they kind of. I would like them to. I hope they're just teasing this, and then they get back on track, and then go like full force again. Because I don't know. I want AJ to have a singles career again, but it'll be really interesting because if you take AJ away from almost, it's we'll see. I don't know.
I was gonna say the same thing. Like if you take AJ away from Omos, AJ's got a singles career. AJ's gonna do what he's been doing, but then what happens to Omos? I mean, he's gonna do what? Go after Damien Priest? Get the U.S. title? I mean,
that's the thing.
Is he gonna wrestle singles against Ziggler and just really have Ziggler? I mean, he'll have to wrestle people who carry him in the ring essentially. Yeah, and it's just not gonna bode well for him.
Yep.
In the long run, well, shit, in the short run, for that matter.
I think the best thing would be is for him is to keep him with AJ, let AJ do his singles career, and then just let him be occasionally let them have a tag team match, and then just to keep him fresh in the ring. But I think you need to keep AJ with him for a while. I think the best thing they could do is just kind of tease this for now and let him go at it down the road. I don't think he's ready to be by himself yet.
My biggest fear, and I know a lot of people will say the same thing, is they're gonna hotshot him like they did Kevin Nash, because Vince already loves this guy. Vince is like, oh, he's a big guy, I love him. The stories have been that Vince is looking to push almost as like the next big thing. So I see this, like when they put AJ with him, I just picture Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash all over again. And now the way they're breaking them up, the story that they're telling with these guys, Omos is going to turn on him. And Omos is going to be the new Kevin Nash to the Shawn Michaels.
Omos does not have the charisma to stand on his own.
That's the point that I'm trying to make. He's greener than goose shit. He's not ready. He is not the type of guy that you would put in a singles match against a Riddle or a Randy Orton or even a Sheamus or a Bronson, a Braun Breaker, or what's that guy, Von Wagner. Like even they're better than Omos.
Dude, if you had Omos versus Great Khali versus Von Wagner, it would be like the biggest popcorn match in the history of wrestling.
Yeah, it would be. It would be. But the point I'm making is they just don't fit. Like it does not fit. It won't fit. It will never fit. He's not ready to be that guy.
He can be a henchman. He can be a ninja. I mean, whatever.
But Vince is gonna go ahead and Vince is gonna break them up and Vince is gonna put him in a main event picture. I guarantee you by March, WrestleMania time, Omos gonna be challenging for a championship. You watch. I'll put money on it right now.
I'm not going to bet on that, but I don't think he's even remotely close to doing that.
Oh no, I don't think like as a wrestler, I don't think he is ready for it at all.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about Vince. I don't see Vince doing it. I think Vince knows better.
Yeah, we all think
so. Remember, in the past few weeks, we saw Omos doing a spinning, a spinning leg kick or
spinning heel kick.
Yeah, he did a spinning heel kick. He even did a double-handed choke slam kind of thing. I mean, we're not even getting that right now because it's kind of like someone said, "Stop." It's like someone said, "Hey, just don't do that because it's not working." Yeah. Like, and they're like, "Well, how about we give him the overhand chop?" Yeah, nah, we already did that with somebody. So it's like, what do you have the guy like? Again, how do you play to his strengths?
And that's just it. You can't take him away from AJ right now because he doesn't have any strengths. He's just a big lumbering dude. You put a big lumbering dude with AJ. Why do you think AJ takes 90% of the match?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
AJ is carrying the weight on his shoulders really bad. So if you take AJ out of the equation, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be worse than the Yeti. Okay. It's gonna be worse than the Shockmaster's intro. Okay. I can just see him falling through a wall right now. Just saying. It's my hot take. Bigger man slapping bigger meat. That's just wrong. It's just wrong for guys to say that. I don't know why. It just doesn't sound right. Like, I'm a big meaty man slapping meat. That just doesn't sound right. So let's go to the next match. Let's get through this.
So you got Damien Priest taking on Robert Roode, and this is supposed to be an open challenge match. And next thing you know, they go to a commercial. And part of the thing about an open challenge match is the surprise that comes out, even if you're let down. But they didn't even do that. They just like, here you go, Robert Roode. They came back from the commercial with it. So this went as expected. Damien Priest, I mean, this lasted maybe a minute longer than Nikki ASH match with Zelena. It didn't last long.
They actually got through a commercial break on this one, like another commercial break.
Okay. It just didn't seem like it. Maybe it just went so
it went so fast.
It just felt like it went fast because I probably knew what was going to go on. I mean, that's the thing. It did go. I remember it now. They started and then they went to a commercial almost right away. It felt like, and that's why. But yeah, it didn't last long. So, it as expected.
But
Damien Priest had no issues.
Robert Roode put on a good match with Damien Priest. Damien Priest, his move set is decent, but he's no Omos by any means. But Robert Roode gave him a good match. It's just they did the whole Damien Priest snapping thing, and that's.
I don't understand that. I mean, are they are they really truly doing the good, the bad good, the angel on one shoulder, the devil on the other gimmick? Like, are they really doing that?
I think so. And what they're doing is they're adding to it because this has a lot of similarities to the Miz and John Morrison like angle that they had with Damien Priest. Now they just kind of give him they add the devil and the angel aspect, and then he's still dealing with both of these guys. And I think they took it to another level tonight because Dolph Ziggler at the end of the match hit him with a super kick.
Correct.
So I don't think they have an idea right now with Damien Priest, and that's very disappointing.
When they brought him up from NXT, I had such high hopes. When they brought him over from Ring of Honor, I had such high hopes. When he was Punishment Martinez, he was doing the most over there.
Yeah.
You bring him over here, you make him a Playboy party guy at NXT, right? You bring him over to the main roster. He wins the United States title, but just like the Intercontinental Championship, in my opinion, neither title means anything now because they're embroidered in like the stupidest things. Like okay, he's doing this open challenge gimmick, right? I get it, it's all good, but you got him going crazy and snapping. What's the point?
Yeah,
it's almost like holding up for him, but
yeah, but then he's a heel, but he's a face, but he's a heel, but he's a face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's the Bruce Pritchard syndrome, like let's just throw it out there and see what happens for now.
Yeah,
and hit repeat as many times as necessary. I
don't know. I'm one of those guys where I like my wrestling to make sense.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's what makes Raw so hard to watch. I mean, sometimes WWE in general. I mean, SmackDown hasn't been good like it used to be. It's hard for them, I guess, right now. But that's the thing that you got to also realize is there's a 75-year-old man thinking he knows what's guys from basically kids from ages. I think that demographic's 8 to 14 or 8 to 17, and then he thinks he knows what those demographics want to see. Their biggest demographic that they're obviously shooting for 18 to 49, but they're trying to get kids to watch more and more. Now, my thing is Vince, most kids are not going to be up till 11 o'clock on a Monday night.
Right.
That's problem number one. The other problem is number two is they get tired of it because after a while, when a kid sees the same thing over and over and over, he's just going to lose interest. So,
hey, is there a Saturday show anymore?
Technically, there is, but it's not like on any channel. It's I think they put it on Fridays for 205 Live, I think, but and then you got Main Event, so it's all like Peacock, and I know they have syndications, like, but I don't know.
They do some of that stuff on Hulu.
Yeah, I don't know if that's in the United States, but I know like in other countries they have like Saturday shows and stuff like that.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I often say this week after week, and this is what I think of Raw. Raw stands for really awful wrestling.
No, it's really awful writing.
No, it's not even the writing anymore. It's not even the writing anymore. It's the wrestling in general, because the writing is just the storyline, the work. The guys in the ring, they're doing the work. They're the ones that are telling the story. They're the ones that are making you want to watch. And if you got Damien Priest doing the same stupid shit week after week after week, like Rob said, people are going to turn the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. So if I was writing for wrestling and I was like, hey, tell you what, all right, Bad Blood, this week, I'm doing a story where you're a zombie, and I'm gonna
First off, if you ever came to me with I'm doing a story and I'm a zombie, I'm gonna walk away.
And I'm bringing in Kenny Omega to be Jesus, and we're gonna do this story about Jesus versus a zombie. I mean, you two in the ring would be like,
exactly. And that's what we're saying.
Like, how much can we get out of this? And someone would be like, oh man, I saw this 5-star match between a zombie and Jesus, but I can only give a 3 or 2 because it was a zombie and Jesus.
Okay. So here's the thing.
And Jesus wins by DQ because the zombie couldn't make it back to the ring on time.
You can have horrible writing in the zombie. You can have horrible writing. Okay, and that's cool. Like not every show is gonna have great writing. I mean, look, even AEW had a shitty segment with CM Punk and MJF, and I found that really hard to have a shitty segment with those two guys. This week MJF was so, whatever.
It was his.
It was
and I like it. I like MJF. It was the worst one he's done, and I think a lot of that has to do with. I think a lot of it has to do with the Britt Baker comment that kind of turned almost everybody like, what? What's that for? That came out of nowhere, not needed.
Right?
So
it kept coming over and over again. Like that was ridiculous.
So I'm hoping that they stay away from that this week.
Let's hope because that was really horrible, and it was like okay, I gotta say it. It was painful to watch, almost as bad as that Raw girl tonight. The kid with the horrible. Yeah. It was almost as bad as her. Her and Miz girl look like twins, to be honest with you. But
yeah,
it was almost as bad as that.
They looked a lot alike.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It was ridiculous, but it is what it is, I guess. And I don't know. It really turned me off of the show. So when you're seeing the same things over and over again, it kind of turns you off of the show. It's like you ever watch South Park? And
I used to. I used to watch it all the time. But
remember when what's his name? Chef. When Chef was on there and he had to, hey everybody, ever seen my balls as big and salty and brown? The suck on my chocolate salted balls. That one, right?
Yep.
So when you have that was funny as shit. But then, like the second version of it, it's like getting all, hey baby, you're like, what? Like, what?
It's funny you should mention South Park because my girlfriend's son loves South Park right now. And so Peacock just did another South Park movie called like After COVID or something like that.
Yeah, the Paramount. Yeah, Paramount one.
And so he was really hyped for it, and I watched it because I was like, what's he so hyped about? And I was like, and I told him, I was like, that movie wasn't really all that good. Now I remember seeing the first South Park movie, and that in the theater, and that shit was hilarious. Fuck your fucking face, Uncle fuck. I mean, all that shit.
Exactly. But now you look at it now, you're like, it's like whatever.
But to him, he thought it was a good South Park movie.
But see, you're the demographic that right now is watching Raw. Exactly. You're the demographic that's watching Raw. So by you watching that South Park movie as the first one, thinking it was hilarious, and now you're watching the new South Park stuff, and you're like, oh, this is dumb. Same thing. For me, as someone who has been a professional wrestler for 29 years, who has watched wrestling his entire life, who was a WWE guy, and then decided, hey, you know what, I want to learn about wrestling and start watching NWA and start watching all this other stuff, right? By me watching Raw and watching the same thing over and over again, it's really repetitive. It's like, I always say this, watching Raw is like being in an abusive relationship. Every single day, you're getting slapped around with the same shit. It takes courage to say enough's enough. These writers need to say enough's enough, and you gotta stop letting Vince McMahon, a 75-year-old guy, thinking that, hey man, let's get these guys and tell them to say cool things like, man, That's woke. That's lit. Oh, let's get jiggy with it. Like, Vince, stop. Stop while you're ahead. You keep doing the same shit over and over again, you're gonna lose fans. You're gonna lose the confidence that you can actually have a decent show. And people are going to start turning the channel. Vince can say it all he wants. Oh, it's Monday Night Football. Bullshit. It's the bullshit you're putting on every week.
Hey, so somebody told Vince, man, we just got to stir it up.
Yeah. Vince walk around backstage. Let's stir it up, everybody. Hey, Montez, this is how I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
we should be watching Ready to Rumble. Just go watch Ready to Rumble. Oh man. Okay, let's get out of this, man. Let's talk about the next match because this is depressing.
All right, so next match was Bianca Belair versus Doudrop. Hey, I gotta say, this was actually a good match until the end. Reason why I say that is because you take one of the most athletic wrestlers in WWE, who's Bianca Belair, and you have her wrestle against a veteran, who is Piper Niven. So we don't call it Doudrop on the show.
Yeah, we don't call it Doudrop on the show.
And Piper Niven can go. So you put it with a Bianca Belair, and you've got two women in the ring who can go and really hit some really hard spots and some really good spots. So it puts on a good show. However, when it comes to the writing portion of it, you get an ending to the match like what we saw now, where Doudrop gets knocked out the ring and just says, screw it, and she walks to the back.
Okay.
And Bianca Belair wins by DQ. So, good match? Yeah. Ending to the match? Not so great. Does it advance the storyline? I mean, you're going to get another match out of it. I mean, they're going to wrestle again. But there's other ways to make Piper Niven look like a heel. I mean, yeah, I get it that the heel walks out, the heel quits and doesn't care about the count out. And since wins and losses don't count, getting a DQ doesn't matter. But there's better ways to advance the storyline of your heel being a heel. I mean, she could have lost the match cleanly and just done some heel shit afterward.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I agree. And I mean, asking you guys, have you ever seen anybody in WWE get the Big Show treatment from going heel to face to heel so quickly?
No.
Yeah.
No. I mean, even when you have like horrible, even when you have horrible writers that are writing this horrible crap, like, it's, to me, honestly, man, I feel this is disrespectful. Disrespectful to the worker to keep doing them like that over and over again. It's ridiculous. Let me give a shout out to my boy Damien real quick. What's up, Damien? He's watching us on the podcast. I just don't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand. And then you get rid of people who are actually, killing it. But you keep the same people who are doing the same stupid things over and over again, stupid story writing, all that stuff. You ruin, in my opinion, you ruin a good thing by writing crap. But that's just my take. It's one of those nights where I'm being totally 1000% with you guys, ladies and gentlemen. I do not like watching Raw. Raw is a horrible, horrible show.
That's why I'm here. He asked me to do it instead. BJ's like, I got a flat on my car. Can you watch Raw tonight?
I got a flat on my car. You can watch
roof.
on your phone.
I got to fix the roof. Can you watch Raw tonight?
I gotta go walk my fish. I'll be back. I'm gonna go walk my fish.
So after this match, we get Austin Theory and Vince McMahon in the back. They have a little pep talk, and they're having a talk. And Vince says he's going to put Austin Theory in a match tonight, and expect the unexpected. That whole thing after he slapped him last week. They have a whole expect the unexpected thing. Then Miz comes out And after that, like mediocre diatribe that he had with Edge last week, now they're going to do a Miz TV segment with Miz and Edge to kind of make up for what didn't really make sense last week. I mean, I get what they're setting up for, but it just didn't go over well. So Edge is on Miz TV, and pretty much, I mean, all they did is they set up for Miz versus Edge at day one.
Okay, so where do you see this going, Rob? Where do you see this whole storyline with Miz going?
This is, I think, a short term. I think this is a very short term feud to get through day one, and then we'll go from there. I am very curious. I think a big part, which keeps me fascinated with the Kevin Owens possibly re-signing. If Kevin Owens re-signs, Edge and him are going right into a feud. I believe that's the way you go. Right after. If he doesn't, they're not going to keep this feud going. I don't think they should. I don't think it would be smart, because the one thing is people are going to be tuning in to watch Edge. As much as I like The Miz, I think he's great at what he does, but he also has something not working for him. Is he has what they call that change the channel heat. It just, for some people, as much as I like him, there's people that just don't, and they change the channel. So the last thing I think you need to do is keep Edge with him. I think you just need to move Edge on. So we'll have to see. I just know there's two things that I want to see. I want to see him avoid Seth Rollins, and I want to watch him avoid The Miz right after day one.
Yeah, correct.
You can't have those two. You can't go back to Seth Rollins. And if anything, I think Edge and Kevin Owens would be fascinating. I think it'd be good.
I think that would be good too. I know for a fact that Kevin Owens said that Edge and Christian were people that he idolized, so that'd be kind of cool. But let's talk about this, because Rob, you brought it up, and it makes a little sense to kind of bring it up now. What are your thoughts on the fact that? What are your thoughts on him either staying or going? Do you really truly believe he's going to stay? Do you think he's really going to go? What are the pros and cons?
You know, the thing is I think he'll stay. Everybody else seems like they think he'll go. They think everybody will go. They think everybody's miserable, and that's the farthest from the truth. Not everybody is miserable. They really aren't. There are a lot, yeah. Of people like upset and stuff, sure, but I don't know. Like I don't know what his mindset is. He's a very private person, which is by all means good in this business. I just don't know what he's thinking. Because he did a lot of playing, or he gave a lot of hints with the whole messing with his like timeline stuff on Twitter with the Young Bucks, and the one thing that would be cool is if he goes over to AEW, you got Mount Rushmore again. But the one thing is does he want to do that? Is that what he wants to do? Or can he get the security with a new deal? I mean, there are people, from what I understand, contracts are being negotiated differently in WWE, where there's people are going to be trying to get those no cut clauses. I guarantee you, with that man having 2 children, he is not going to take something. He's going to do what's best for his family.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah,
and if he can get like a no cut deal, I could see him doing that. I could see him staying. But he's not going to do something where he could be let go in a year and a half.
Correct.
And I think the same could be said for Sami Zayn. I don't know what they're thinking, and this is just me spitballing. He could be gone. He could just be counting the days, but I do think that if they're putting him in the title picture, that things are going better than people think. I don't think they put him in a title position just to say, oh, you lost your title, but now you can head out and join AEW in February. I just don't see that happening. I don't think
I don't see them giving him a title at all. Like I think
no,
that,
but they're putting him in the title picture, which helps, like the character.
Just elevates his profile.
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
scene.
and that's just my opinion. I could be, this could be just Vince saying, I need somebody I trust in there. I know you're leaving Powell. That's okay. You know, that's the thing. Like Vince McMahon has told Mark Henry, he's like, oh, that's a great signing. I'm glad they signed you. You'll be perfect for this. Like, so who knows what Vince is thinking? I don't. I can't pretend I do, but I just get the feeling that he will be there. That's just me. I could be completely wrong. And if you go, my thing is I always support the wrestler more than the company. And it's my thing is if he's gone, good. And that's what he wants to do. Good. That's awesome. I'm glad. If he wants to be in AEW, perfect. As long as he does what he wants and he's happy, that's really, I just want him on my TV. That's the easiest way to say it. I love watching Kevin Owens. I've watched Kevin Steen for longer than a lot of people have been able to watch wrestlers. Like I've watched AJ Styles for over 20 years now. I've watched Kevin Steen, El Generico for over 15 years now. So it's just as long as they do things that is best for them and best for their families, I'm all for it, man. I just want them to be good, and I'm always pro wrestler. I don't talk negative about wrestlers because they're not the ones doing the stories, you know. Yeah. So they go in and they get frustrated because, you know, the last thing you want to do is, and I've worked sales and stuff like that. The last thing I want to do is fly to Denver, Colorado, and not do anything for a whole day and miss, like,
correct,
you know, like sitting catering and then maybe do a house show where I'm only working for 10 minutes, if that, and I miss like all this stuff. And then you just, I mean, yeah, you might be living your dream, but you like WWE superstar maybe, but who some of them want more. You look at like FTR. I think what they did was awesome. They bet on themselves. They knew what they wanted. They wanted to wrestle. And I could be wrong, but I believe they were a team that said that, hey, instead of letting us come in on Mondays when you know you're not going to use us, let us go to Laredo and work the house show with SmackDown. Let us do something. We just want to wrestle.
Yeah.
You know?
These guys, they just want to work, you know.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because knowing that they want to work and knowing that, you know, you have opportunity to give them a chance to go out there and do the best that they can and just let them, you know, go kill it, as opposed to sitting them in catering and having them do nothing, or, you know what I mean? It's I find it ridiculous.
Just go apply your craft.
Yeah. You know, it's like what's his name? Scotty 2 Hotty. Scotty 2 Hotty legitly left the WWE because he was like unhappy, right? He left the WWE. He posted on Twitter his 90 days is up like on the 23rd of December, or his no compete is up on the 23rd. And he said, well, what does he want to do? He wants to hang out with his kids, wrestle in the UK, hang out with his kids, wrestle in Mexico, have fun, hang out with his kids, wrestle on national television. Like, he wants to wrestle. He doesn't want to be stuck teaching. He doesn't want to be stuck being a coach. He wants to just wrestle. He doesn't want to be stuck sitting in catering. And some people are just like that. That's
like, you know, like WWE, they tried to bring in Eddie Kingston to be a trainer. They tried to do that with Thunder Rosa, Serena D. Mm-hmm. Serena Deeb's killing it in AEW, and
I love Serena Deeb.
Oh yeah, she's amazing. She's awesome. And you mean to tell me that you think she's better sitting back there and not using her in the ring? Come on,
Serena Deeb can take my money.
That's true. But I'm saying if I have a talent like that, she's on my TV. You know, it's easy for me to spend somebody else's money, but Serena Deeb not being on TV with WWE and like you keeping her like off the cameras, come on,
That's wasted dollars for real.
That's a waste of money right there. And so,
well, they're leaving money on the table all the time. Look what they did with Hit Row. Left all that money on the table. It's crazy. Shout out to Hit Row. Anyway, let's go to the next match. Let's knock this out, man.
Next match, we had more of the RK Bro lament, and we had Rey and Dominic Mysterio versus Alpha Academy, where Dominic pinned Chad Gable. I mean, this I was surprised that.
You know what?
get enough.
I can't do it.
I was totally surprised that Dominic got a clean pin, that he got a win. You know, the match was okay. Ray didn't get that much time in the ring, but yeah, Dominic, went for the crossbody off the top. He pins Chad Gable.
Yeah, he hit a dragon screw, I think, or a
dragon screw. Yeah,
lands on his feet, misses, goes for a moonsault, or he misses the moonsault, lands on his feet, and then all of a sudden you see Dominic pin him, and it's like, whoa.
Chad Gable is so underused in the WWE right now.
Oh, then,
so underused.
But afterwards, Riddle comes out to interview. Oh, I'm sorry, we were so negligent. We forgot to mention that RK Bro are wearing announcer jackets.
Yeah, I saw the brown old WWF style blazer.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Riddle comes to the ring to interview Alpha Academy about their loss to the Mysterios, and I almost called him Tucker.
Otis
picks up Riddle and gives him the Otis Slam. I don't know what they're calling it now. The world's most powerful slam, whatever you want to call it. And that's how that segment ended.
Yep, it went by real quick.
Okay, so Rob, as a wrestling journalist, what are your thoughts on RK Bro as a gimmick and as a team?
It's one of those things. I think I like the comedy aspect, but it's getting kind of repetitive. And the one thing I do like is I think everybody is just saying, okay, it's a matter of time before Randy turns on Riddle. I think it's opposite.
Right.
I think it's opposite because
Riddle's going to turn on Randy?
I think that's what I think, but that's me booking instead of Vince. So that means I'm probably wrong, and Vince is going to go with this comfort, making Randy Orton a heel. But that's what I would do, and I think sometimes I kind of wonder if that's the way they're going, because I think Riddle will eventually, the way they play it right now is they're making it look like Riddle will eventually have enough for Randy being the way he is. And what I hope more than anything is this eventually gives us rated RKO back. Not right away out of it, but I'm talking down the road.
Yeah, I would love for rated RKO to come back.
Yeah, and I think that's the way to eventually get there is let Riddle do it, because Edge is at that point now where he's not going to get booed.
Correct.
Yeah. So if
I
you're going to play him,
I would love to see Rated RKO back, for the simple fact that then you'd have a decent tag team. You'd have a good tag team to challenge for the tag team titles. They've already buried the Street Profits. They got the Street Profits doing stupid shit. They have the War Raiders, the Viking Experience, whatever the hell they're calling themselves this week, doing stupid shit. Next thing you know, they're going to have our troops teaming with Tozawa challenging for the tag titles instead of chasing around the women's, the 21st century.
The funny thing is that they let those two just actually wrestle, they'd be a hell of a tag team.
Well, yeah.
That's the one thing that unfortunately people don't know about Tozawa. He's one of the best guys that got in the company life for wrestling, but they don't let him do anything.
Correct.
It's too much like right.
So-
much like right.
The next match was your boy TBar
Oh my God.
versus Finn Balor.
TBar was handling Finn Balor. He was taking the
He
prince
was.
to town. We're gonna call him Donovan Dijakovic. We're no longer call him TBar. That's what we're gonna do. No longer is he TBar. He's not a sexual toy. He is no longer TBar.
But man, TBar was handling him for quite a while. And I mean, he got out a sling blade. He gave him the it's not the fall away slam, it's the throwaway slam. Finn Balor was, doing all his usual stuff. T-Bar, give him the forearm, chokes him with the boot, all the usual big man moves that you usually get. But then, T-Bar went to the top of the ropes. Finn Balor elbowed him, hit him in the neck a few times, dropped him down to the canvas, and gave him the double foot stomp. And that's how Finn Balor got the win.
Donovan Dijak. That's right. Look, that was a good match.
Yeah, it was good.
It was actually a really good match. It was well paced, and Finn Balor is starting to look more like the old Finn Balor. I really hope they do something with him. Let's not have him feud with God, because that sucks.
No, what he's going to do is he's going to feud with Austin Theory.
Yeah, after the match,
After the match, Austin Theory attacked him, hit him with an ATL, and then took a selfie with him and left.
Okay, that was actually pretty good.
So I think in day one, we're going to get Finn Balor versus Austin Theory. The first Universal Champion.
I'd be fine with that if they let him go at it. Like, that's the thing. I just want him to actually okay,
wrestle.
Let's wrestle. We'll let you go for about 12 minutes. That would be the dream. But oh well.
I mean, shoot, that sounds like a great idea. Yeah, I mean that would be a pretty decent tag team, a pretty decent singles match. I think that they're positioning Austin to do some real cool stuff if you let him wrestle.
Yeah, and that's what's it sounds like he's gonna get that rocket that rocket push, because Vince McMahon has not been on screen for a long, long time, and all of a sudden he's on screen now with this kid. That's pretty interesting to me.
And it does seem like he's getting all the backstage help from Vince. Like, he really is a Vince McMahon guy. My question, my question is, do you think that it's gonna last?
No, I don't think anything lasts anymore with Vince.
Or do you
And
think
that's
Vince is gonna
unfortunate.
be like,
This would be long-form storytelling for it to last.
I mean, I think Vince is gonna be like, nah, I don't care about this anymore. Like, in a week, or maybe someone has said something about this before and it made me laugh my ass off. Maybe Vince is like going senile and he thinks that Austin Theory is Steve Austin. And
I heard that somebody said that's what they would like to, not necessarily say he's senile, but they'd like to see something that he's doing this because of the name Austin.
He's like, damn it, Austin, it was me, Austin, all along.
That would be interesting if it was something like that. It was the whole Austin thing, but yeah, I'm curious to see what route they go with this.
I think it would be funny. It would be quite funny if he did that. It was me, Austin. It was me all along. But I'm not Steve Austin. Shut up. Hitting him with a bedpan and shit, giving him a stunner.
Yeah, the one person that would do that would be Vince McMahon. Who would play the whole illness type thing up.
That's why I think it would be funny if he did it. It was me, Austin. It was me all along. Damn it. Oh Jesus Christ. But yeah, let's go to the next match. Let's go ahead and
final match of the night, Rob.
Yeah, main event, man. Becky Lynch retained over Liv Morgan. the great thing is Liv is getting a lot of momentum, and they're building a star. It just took them forever with her, and that's not her fault. That's the company fault because people have liked her for a long, long time. I figured Becky was going to win this match because I'm like, I don't see them taking the title off of her right now. But what I did like about the match is they kept it. I think they kept it going where they can keep this feud going through at least day one. I think Becky Lynch has her opponent for day one now. I think with her grabbing the ropes, that made that happen. And that's good because I don't know anybody on Raw's side that deserves the title shot or deserves to be in the title picture other than like Liv and her. Because we talked about it earlier. They haven't done a damn thing with Rhea.
Correct.
And I think that's the best way to go.
I agree with that. I think that a lot of people don't realize that that Liv went out and learned how to wrestle. Like she can work.
Yeah,
she literally went and learned lucha, which is the hardest. I don't care what people say. It is the hardest form of professional wrestling to learn.
She did that. She's worked with Tyson Kidd almost like her and she's worked with Tyson Kidd a ton, and just been working it helps that she has a Rotundus too to probably lean on for working out and learning new things. So I think they got I think they got a star. It's just the way they got to just do it right.
I think if they give her space and say, "Hey, look, here's your direction. This is what we're going to do for you," and then give her proper direction, she's going to be a star.
Yeah,
she's going to kill the game.
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like they're leaving money on the table.
Yeah,
like she's gotten so good. I mean, let's be honest. No one expected her to beat Becky for the championship tonight.
No,
that's just us being honest. But no one expected her to have such a breakout match tonight either, and she did.
And she did, for real. She really did.
Yep.
Like I for one, I'm gonna say I was totally 1,000% impressed with her tonight.
Yeah, but it was good and a good main event. And what I think, how many years was it ago that they had Trish Stratus versus Lita tonight?
Oh yeah,
it was the anniversary of that, so it was really cool for them to do that tonight. So I think was it like 15 years they said, or maybe something like that. But it might even been longer than that. But it was Raw. It was better than some of the past episodes, but it could have been worse.
And it has been, ladies and gentlemen. It has been. So quick, let's get your quick thoughts real quick. Johnny Gargano, staying or going?
I already said, I think Kevin Owens staying, but Johnny Gargano, I think I find it weird that they're going to let him talk tomorrow. I would find it weird for him to say it wouldn't seem like the WWE thing for him to be able to talk before he goes. You know what I mean? But he is talking tomorrow night, so we'll see. It might be a Triple H thing that's letting that happen, because I didn't expect Kyle O'Reilly to do the Undisputed Era thing last night either. So
I did not expect that whatsoever.
And he got approved for that. So
we were marking out so freaking hard when he did that. I was just like, oh my God, did he do that?
Yep.
If I was a betting man, I would say that I think anybody would agree with this, but Johnny Gargano is more likely to stay than obviously Kyle O'Reilly. I think Johnny Gargano has everything in his. He has the advantage because he knows he's going to take time off regardless. So, because he's going to wait for that birth of his child, and he can do what he wants to after that. He's hinted many things. So we'll just have to see. He's somebody. I'm one of those people that I don't want everybody to go to AEW because then they're just going to have the same problem. I think people need to kind of cool down with that. There's a lot of dream matches that I would love to have, but I think we also people need to realize not everybody can go. And
Yeah, exactly.
Correct.
and I think Johnny Gargano would, and again, it's easier for me to spend somebody else's money, and I think Johnny Gargano is going to be great wherever he goes. I just think WWE would be better for him, but that's me. I don't know. I've already said 2 people I think that should stay, and I think, but that's also me just not wanting everybody to go. I think because if they continue to do that, we're going to continue to get more characters that.
Well, let me give you a little breaking news.
Yeah.
Wow, 50 tweets in the last hour. Tony Khan has just started following Johnny Gargano.
Yeah. Doesn't surprise me.
Like literally, like I was just watching Johnny Gargano's page this whole time we were talking. He still has his WWE Superstars like bio up, so he hasn't changed that. Normally when someone's leaving, but he's posted here 23 hours ago. Hell of a run. Thank you all, Johnny Takeover. And then a lot of AEW guys are following him. So
yeah, good stuff.
I know. We will see. We shall see. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us here on the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. It has been a very insightful Monday night. For once, I agree. Monday Night Raw was not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
That is correct.
Yeah. So, Rob, tell the fans where they can find you at, sir.
You can follow me at Rob Wilkins on Twitter. Every Tuesday night, I cover NXT. Every Wednesday night, I cover AEW Dynamite. And on Friday nights, I cover AEW Rampage. And then, that's pretty much it for now.
You can find Rob over at Fightful Select. Also, look, he's writing a cool article, ladies and gentlemen. So go check that out. Mr. Julian, got any parting words for the adoring fans?
Hey, so for tonight, Raw was much better than in previous weeks, which wasn't really much of a stretch. On par with War Games, I'll give Raw this week a 6 or a 6.5. We actually got to see good matches, good women's matches, really good women's matches. And we got to see our guy, Bobby Lashley, instead of choking out kids, he's choking out grown men, or at least slamming grown men around.
He beat the whole roster up.
So, that was that was the good part. And I will easily say there were more pluses than negatives this week. So I'm really happy to see that.
Awesome. And just so you guys know, we're here Wednesday nights for the AEW Dynamite show. And I got to tell you, I'm excited for this match. I'm excited because I finally get to see the Elite, the Young Bucks versus Rocky Romero and Chucky T, collectively known as Chaos. That's going to be a match in itself, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you on Wednesday night for the Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your boy, the franchise player, Double B Bad Blood. For Mr. Rob Wilkins, and for the chemical one right here, Mr. Julian, the mixologist of professional wrestling, I got to say, gentlemen, it has been fun. It has been
Thank
real.
you. Thanks for having me.
Real fun. Hey,
Thank
you're
you very
welcome.
much.
There's a seat all the time at the table for you, my friend.
All right,
Anytime you want to
that.
come through, we like to shoot the shit here. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, go to support these guys and girls here at bodyslam.net by going to slamchats.com. That is slamchats.com. Donate. Do what you got to do. Help the brothers out. With that being said, we are out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great Monday.